for the win. It's good! Pokusevski takes flight as SGA plays through the contact, banks it in on the foul.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Uncontested Postgame Podcast. I'm your host for tonight, Justin, as Oklahoma City comes back from 19 points down to beat the Portland Trailblazers 98-94. That audio flatulence you just heard came courtesy of my co-host tonight, Jacob. Welcome, Jacob.
Yeah. I'm working on fine. I'm upset.
There's been a theme lately.
That's how I feel right now.
Before we dive in, I want to let you know that we are proudly part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the official podcast of SI Thunder. If you don't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Oklahoma City was down 19 points in this game. Oklahoma City was down pretty much the whole game. Portland had this game handily wrapped up 90-72 with 10 minutes remaining in the game. 90-72. Oklahoma City wins 98-94. For those not doing the math at home, that is a 26-4 run to finish the game. A 26-4 run by Isaiah Roby, Jalen Horde, Xavier Simpson, Vit Krejci, and Olivier Sarr. How? Why?
Justin,
Help me.
we're typically pretty good on this podcast about keeping things positive, not eliminating, but limiting expletives.
Uh-oh.
I tweeted this earlier. I never want to hear shit ever again that the Thunder are the black eye of the league. Look at the tank job. They're immoral. The basketball gods will forever forsake them. What I just watched is a crime against humanity.
Oh my gosh. Like
Vladimir Putin wouldn't even have done that.
And there it is. I don't understand how Jalen Horde in his 4th NBA game, just called up on a 10-day contract, can put up one of the best statistical games in Thunder basketball history.
You want to know why? Because in that 4th quarter, like, we always talk about players don't tank. I don't believe that shit anymore. I watched the Blazers down 4 and Keon Johnson pull up a wide open 3 and shoot it over the damn rim.
Miss everything. You're about to go full Aisha Curry.
It's rigged for ratings or money. I don't know which.
Saw it with my own eyes.
Saw it with my own eyes.
It's it was unbelievable.
Hey, shout
honestly.
shout out to Portland. Great tank job.
Immaculate. The tank was immaculate. Shout out to Jalen Horde getting the call up. I don't know what he was doing this morning, but he probably wasn't preparing to play an NBA game. And then
they started Georgios I'm not even going to try to say it because I don't want to be offensive and mispronounce somebody's name. I have never heard of this man in my entirety of my 31 years of existence on this planet. I have never read that name before in my life. And I record an NBA podcast multiple times a week. They called up a 6-footer who shoots hook shots. And that's all Michael Cage. That's all Michael Cage could talk about the entire night.
Hook shots.
And they started those guys.
And the guy that made the half court shot. That was the peak commentary tonight.
Justin, they benched Lindy effing Waters.
Yes. So I do want to address this directly because what a move. Lindy Waters comes in 4 minutes, 2 of 3 from 3, a quick 8 points, and he goes to the bench. Doesn't play again. The Thunder only had 7 active guys tonight, and they benched one of them after 4 minutes because he made 2 threes.
God bless.
And they won!
Here's the thing. I am not mad at the Thunder because God bless their souls, they did everything they could. They started Xavier freaking Simpson. They started this 24-year-old dude from the G League who no one's ever heard of before. They decided Teo Maladone and Aaron Wiggins were too good.
And Poku
was too good.
Yeah.
They play Horde 45 minutes of a 48-minute game. They play Georgios 43 minutes of a 48-minute game, and they still win. I don't know what else to do.
I tweeted this from the account. The only place left to turn for the Thunder is to sign the kid from Thunderstruck. Like, who else could you possibly sign? That was
the half-court shot kid, but he was too good. He made it. As our friend Clark Matthews on Twitter said, you could have signed the guy that beat cancer and had season tickets. Let him live out his Make-A-Wish dream and play 30 minutes in an NBA game.
Call me up, Sam Presti. I got some extra PTO.
Justin, you'd probably beat this Portland Trailblazers team too.
I can assure you I would not.
Rookie breaking on YouTube here says, sign my dad. Your dad's probably too damn good. Rookie breaking?
I'd say
he says his dad's 80. He gave Keon Johnson buckets tonight. Has he got a hook shot? That's apparently all you need. I'm sorry. I'm ranting.
Go sign a dog, but we'd end up with Air Bud.
No shit. Oh
unbelievable.
God.
An unbelievable performance in Oklahoma City tonight. Like you said, you can't really blame anyone. The front office set this up as well as I think you possibly could.
Oh, yeah.
And the players, like, they're doing what they're doing with what they're given. Like, props to Jalen Horde and Xavier Simpson and Kalaitzakis. Like, awesome. That's super cool to, like, get that chance and to go nuts. But for me sitting here right now, it sucks.
They only played Veet 21 minutes, and that's because Georgios got hurt.
Yeah.
Veet was too good to play tonight, and they sat him. Oh, my gosh, Justin, I am irate.
I agree.
If there wasn't a rivalry with the Portland Trailblazers,
who do you hate more, 2022 Portland Trailblazers or 2021 LA Clippers?
The Blazers. Just cut off all of Oregon and send it into the ocean.
Annex it into Canada. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what the Thunder has to do to shake the like scapegoat moniker across NBA blogosphere that they're the biggest abomination to the game of basketball since Dr. Naismith invented it. But like, that ain't it. That narrative ain't working.
Pure ignorance. It is pure ignorance.
Right now, the Thunder are in real danger of dropping to 5th.
They are a half game up on the Indiana Pacers. Yes. They have one less win than Indiana. Indiana did lose tonight. They kept it close against Philly, but they did lose. Indiana's last 2 games, Philly, Brooklyn. Those are probably 2 losses. The Thunder play Utah, which Utah should beat them. Utah has something to play for.
Should.
They play the Lakers.
God bless.
And then they play on the last game of the season, a late night game against the Los Angeles Clippers, who will have seeding wrapped up and literally nothing to play for.
Yep. I'll fly to LA. Hit me up, Presti. I could use a little vacay. I mean, but really though, Oklahoma City could win all 3 of those just based off what we've seen in the past week.
Whore mouth, Justin.
I think you go 3. Could they get sixth best odds?
Dude, shut
if
up.
They did that.
Stop.
I'm being serious.
Here's the thing.
These are things I need to emotionally plan for.
They're not going to get to 6.
I didn't think they'd get to 5, and yet,
In all reality, they're going to the same thing they did tonight. They're going to do the next 3 games, and they should get waxed. If we want to go glass half full, the Jazz have something to play for. They're still playing for seeding.
True.
If LeBron wants the scoring title, he's got to play 2 more games to reach the minimum game threshold. Even if he doesn't, you got to assume some of those guys will still play for pride. I don't even know if they have
it's the
pride.
Lakers. I don't know.
True. And then the Clippers, again, if we're looking glass half full, Paul George has been back for like 3 games.
Mhm.
Probably want to get him into a rhythm. Get Norman Powell, who apparently practiced today, in a rhythm before the play-in tournament. I mean, that's about as positive as I can be.
I mean, at what point do you say, "Thank you, Mr. Horde," and then go sign somebody worse on a new 10-day contract?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, they need to lose these last 3. I think they should lose these last 3. I think they will be massive underdogs in these last 3.
Mm-hmm.
You can't slip to you cannot slip to 5. You cannot. You can also not convince me that the Portland Trailblazers players were not tanking at the end of that game.
It was unreal. I mean, seriously, over 10 minutes with 4 points scored. And
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And you know what? You mentioned it earlier. The national media, all the bloggers, all the podcasters are going to be dead silent about what Portland is doing.
Yeah.
But the Thunder, they signed 2 10-day guys. Abomination of the league. Dude, look at what Portland's done since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Don't come crying to me about the OKC Thunder. I don't want to hear shit ever again.
Yep.
Ever again.
Agreed.
I also, if one more person tweets the word culture and Oklahoma City and too good to tank, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to close the garage and leave the car running.
Oh, man. Let's talk about this game for a little bit.
Do we have to?
I mean, this is a post-game pod. It feels appropriate. Let's start with Jalen Horde. Feels like the right place to start. Jalen Horde, like we mentioned, called up 4th NBA game today. He lets out a cool 24 points, 21 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. I have some stats for you. Those numbers make him the first rookie with a 2023 game on 60% shooting since Shaquille O'Neal. That's courtesy of StatMuse.
I mean,
the Thunder
just
signed
look at the resemblance.
A 10-day guy. I can't even talk. A 10-day guy who came out and played like rookie Shaq.
Hey, I mean, StatMuse is telling me right now the Thunder don't need to tank. They already have Shaq on their team.
Prime Shaq.
They got prime Shaq.
This stat also amazing. Courtesy of Thunder ND on Twitter. 16 of Oklahoma City's 24 wins have come from a double-digit comeback, including 19 tonight, which is tied for the most this season. 16 of the 24.
Yep.
So as much as it sucks,
keep telling me about tanking,
and you want to blame the guys that played tonight, go blame the early season wins against the Lakers.
Dude, Justin, I texted you earlier today.
Yeah.
I think the Thunder and the Lakers would both agree. Hey, can we just swap the results of those 2 early season games? The Lakers can have 2 wins and we can have 2 losses.
As much fun as Shea shouting "I'm him" in the middle of Staples Center was, both teams would give anything to have that back.
Yes. God, yes. Oh
So
my God.
I don't know. It's the margins are so razor thin at this point in the season. There's a lot of games like that you can look back on. There's a lot of buzzer beaters this season. But Jalen Horde making the most of his opportunity.
Good for him, man.
Good for him. Absolutely.
They're-
46 minutes.
These guys are playing for their NBA lives. They
Yeah.
are playing to try to earn a contract to live out their dream, to get a job playing professional basketball. So I mean, you can't blame those players for playing their asses off and doing everything they can.
Yep.
This is everything they've ever wanted in life, and they're grinding to get it. No shame in that whatsoever.
I can't believe Horde is 6'8", and he played a lot of center minutes and got 21 rebounds in an NBA game. I'm 6'7", and I'm extremely confident I would come up with plus or minus 0 rebounds if I played 46 minutes in an NBA game. I'd also have to be carried out of the Paycom Center on a stretcher, but
I'll get you a little
impressive.
wheelchair like Paul Pierce. You poop yourself.
I'd probably poop myself also. But he was talking about that in his post game of just like getting used to playing center at his
talking
size.
about pooping himself.
Maybe. I don't know. Nick Gallo asked the tough questions. No, I think that's impressive. 6'8",
Yes.
21 rebounds, which is the 5th most rebounds in a game in Thunder history.
Hey, shout out to him. Also, not to get us off topic, but you just mentioned Nick Gallo, and we typically don't promote other shows on our show, but the official Oklahoma City Thunder organization podcast, the Thunder Universe, I think is what it's called.
Universe. Yep.
Thunder Basketball Universe. Recently, they've been doing player interviews. They had Trey, they had Veet, and then over Legacy Weekend, they had Nick and Dre on. And really quality stuff, like listening to Trey talk, learning about Veet's story. I finally learned the origin of the lone wolf tattoo. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome stuff. So I would like to encourage our listeners, if you don't check out that podcast, those player interviews are really fun. And I don't know, just it gave me a whole new appreciation for Veet, especially. Really, really, really awesome dude.
That's super cool.
Also, Nate in the chat, we were just talking about Paul Pierce pooping himself. Nate says Presti is pooping himself right now. Probably so.
There are many, many times I'd love to be a fly on the wall in Presti's office, but tonight is absolutely one of them. Like,
oh yeah,
is he stoic Presti and just like internally screaming GIF in his office watching the game, or is he like snapping clipboards? And
he's definitely drinking and filling the bathtub up with warm water. Like he's dude. This is what I was going to say earlier, Justin. You talked about them doing everything they can, to lose games.
Mm-hmm.
They signed. I still can't say his last name. I've been looking at it this entire podcast. Still can't pronounce it. They signed Georgios, and they signed Xavier Simpson to 10-day deals, who are on their G League team.
Yep.
Not on Monday, when those guys could come up and practice with the team.
Yes.
He waited till the last minute so they would come in completely cold, not know anything, and just threw them to the wolves, and those bastards went out and won. Literally, what else can you do? There is nothing else you can do to lose that basketball game. I mean, you could have told them to start fouling and just foul everybody out and forfeit.
Do we need to go self-sabotage flu game and team dinner in Utah, order the pizza, have it delivered to the room, and
hey, we have some friends in Utah, some jazz podcasters.
There we go.
Call them up. It's Utah. They're probably not very vaccinated. Get someone with COVID to go like sneeze on the pizza a few times.
It's awful. Oh,
I think the Thunder are all vaccinated though, so that might not work.
I mean,
we might need a hostage situation. We need an active shooter at the hotel or something. I don't know.
Gosh. We've gotten dark. We've gotten dark on this podcast. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think of other storylines we can talk about. from
There's
this
really
game.
not much to talk about
It's-
this game, just besides how god awful the Portland Trailblazers are. And
Yeah.
I am a basketball atheist. There are no such thing as basketball gods. They don't exist. They don't care what you do. But if they did exist, they should punish the Trailblazers, banish them to the 7th level of hell, and never let them return.
I want you to put yourself in a headspace for me.
Okay, I'm
We
ready.
might need a safe word just
Okay.
in case things go sideways. It's May 17th,
Oh God, I already don't like this.
draft lottery night.
I've thrown up 3 times. Okay.
Thunder are in the top 4.
Oh, okay. I'm now. We break to the commercial.
Yes.
My butt is clenched so tight it's like air sealed.
They read the first envelope out of commercial break. Oklahoma City Thunder get pick 4th. Fast forward.
Sorry, I'm not going to read it, but if you're on the stream, that's a S tier comment by my guy Big Mike and Z.
Fast forward. Pick number 1 goes to the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, dude,
What does Jacob do next?
I might commit an act of domestic terrorism.
I don't think you could say that.
The NSA is probably watching our stream right now. I would be so incredibly mad. So mad. That would be, I don't even know. I would hope that if they draft Chet, automatically I'm calling a bust. Like I'd
Yes.
be irate. Bottom line, like we can't control where the lottery balls are going to fall. The NBA, flattened those odds, and ever since they did, it's had its desired effect. I'm trying to remember the statistic. If I have it right, I think because Kevin O'Connor dropped a new mock draft today where he mixed up the order of the lottery to simulate what might happen on lottery night. If I remember correctly, in his mock draft, he said that ever since the lottery reform went live, the 7th best odds have jumped every time. And the 7th best odds right now are the Sacramento Kings. That would make me sick.
Chestnut
as well.
checkers, Jacob.
Yeah. So you just don't know what's going to happen in the lottery. You posted an awesome graphic to our social channels about the last 10 years where the fourth the teams who had 4th best odds where that pick landed.
Yep.
I mean, the optimist glass half full side of me says fourth best odds is due. Right? Like I'm no mathematician. I don't know statistics. But whenever you have a 48% chance at jumping in the top 4 and it's only happened like 2 out of 10 times, like I would assume statistics tell you it's due. It should happen. So maybe 4 is the magic number. I don't know.
What I don't want to have to do is remake that graphic for the 5th pick.
Oh, stop talking. Knock on wood.
Can you imagine? I just that would make me big sad.
Very much. Now, I don't think the Thunder would ever get sole possession of 5th if that happened. Let's talk worst case scenario. I think worst case scenario is they tie for 5th. That would mean they would split those odds, which is not good. That would give them a 45% chance to jump into the top 4. Because if you're the 4th best, you have a 48%. If you're the 5th best, you have a 42%. The coin flip is not to decide who gets better odds. The coin flip is to decide if neither team jumps, who's ahead of the other one in the standings. You just split the lottery balls. And so a 48% chance and a 42% chance, the middle ground there is 45. Not great. Not great. That a 45 compared to being at 3rd, which would be 52. That means you're losing 7 percentage points. That's quite a bit. They would also have about 11.5% chance at number 1 overall compared to a 14% chance. Also not good. But Justin, we've talked about this a lot. If there's a draft to trade up in, I think your opportunity is this year where there's not a consensus on who the top guy is. Trading up to number 1 last year was a virtual impossibility.
Yep.
We all knew it was Cade.
Yep.
Before the lottery happened. Cade, after the lottery, announced he'd work out for one team. That was the Detroit Pistons. This year, number 1 could be one of 4 guys. I feel pretty confidently about that. Could be, depending on if he declares, I think he will, and how his pre-draft process goes. You could throw Shaedon Sharpe in that as well. So I think that's the silver lining for the Thunder, is even if you slip, I think there's a real possibility you could trade up.
This is going to end up like last year's draft, where we were consoling ourselves after lottery night of like, well, Scotty Barnes could be good. I still like Scotty Barnes. He has a lot of upside. And then instantly the conversation was, Scotty Barnes might be a top pick. Scotty Barnes might be one of the better players in this draft. And all of a sudden, our dreams of Scotty Barnes were off the table. I would not be shocked to see a similar trajectory for Shaedon Sharpe as we get closer to the draft.
I completely agree. I think obviously it's all going to be dependent on his pre-draft stuff.
Yep.
But hey, the kid's got crazy bounce. He's got a good shot.
Don't fall in love, Jacob.
He's from Canada. It all makes sense.
Oh, mercy. I got nothing else.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can talk about this game.
What a night.
In reality, Justin,
Mm-hmm.
the last 3, they're going to run out the same lineup.
Yep.
Do you think they win any of those last 3?
Honestly, yes.
Which one? Or which ones? Please don't make it plural.
I would be 0% shocked if they beat the Lakers.
Okay. I maybe I'm just trying to will it into existence, but I really think 0-3. Like the team they played tonight, God bless their souls, they suck.
Agreed.
And let me tell you something. Tomorrow night in Salt Lake City, against Rudy Gobert, I don't think Jalen Horde's getting a 2020 game.
Can you imagine? Do you know how much the silver lining there is that we could talk copious amounts of trash on Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert all the way back to France. It is going to be a French on French matchup.
Yeah, oui.
Horde versus Gobert. There's no way. And if he does, that's kind of a win-win situation for me. Because if he doesn't and we lose, I'm happy. And if he does, I get to continue my anti-Rudy Gobert tirades, which is also fun.
That's a good silver lining. Yes. Well,
Georgios might not even play tomorrow. He rolled his ankle tonight.
Would the Thunder trot out 6 players? You think they'd go that far?
Oh, 100%. I think I cannot come up with a reason why they did what they did tonight, except Sam Presti called Daigneault and said, "Look, dude, I ain't playing around anymore.
Yeah.
After that Suns game, I ain't playing around anymore." Then after tonight, there's a phone call happening. I can assure you. He's saying, play Sarr 45 minutes.
Let Sarr run point.
And tell him that we want to get a look at his post-game play with his left hand.
Yeah. I mean, you got to sit Roby at this point, right?
Yeah. Presti's going to say, I just want to practice in the Utah game and the Lakers game and the Clippers game. I want to practice late shot clock execution. So just dribble the ball out till there's 5 seconds left and then try to run the set.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be beautiful games of basketball upcoming.
Oh, man.
God bless America. Thank you all for tuning in, for venting with us, allowing us to vent. Hopefully that was some good Thunder therapy for y'all. Oklahoma City has 3 games left. In Utah tomorrow night before the LA doubleheader to end the season. Lakers, followed by the Clippers on Sunday night. We're going to be there, not physically, but we're going to be here talking, hopefully not ranting as much, but talking about each of these games as the Thunder wrap up their season before fully transitioning into off-season mode, where we'll get to look forward to the draft lottery, look forward to the draft, summer league, all that fun stuff. And we can stop talking about Jalen Horde double-doubles over the Trailblazers and start talking about which edition of Chet Holmgren jersey we're going to buy. So make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you don't miss any of it. Follow us on all the socials. And as always, until next time, Thunder up.